All right, here we go. Sunday night edition of KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped. This is another edition of Knicks Weekly, man, where we recap the good, the bad, and the ugly of the week that was for the New York Knicks. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, if you're a diehard basketball fan, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Number one show for the fans by the fans is back at it. Knicks go 3-0 during the week, a clean sweep. Going through the Texas two-step at MSG, man, beating the Spurs, washing up the Mavericks, and then barbecuing the Birds down in Atlanta. We lemon peppered those Hawks real easy, 117-108, led by my guy Broadway Barrett. So let's get into it. Cam Reddish also met with the media. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And we're going to talk about our lineup predictions, man. And I got to tell you guys, before this show went live, things got a little bit heated between the panel. There's been some crazy talk going on right now, so you don't want to miss that conversation. Knicks Weekly, presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise here. JD Sports Talk. Al Shatar, Stratocaster. Good to be back, man. Good to get another edition of Knicks Weekly in the books, man. Fans have been loving it. You know, we recap everything. We dig into the stats, and it's a good, change of pace from the post game show where we, again, just talk about the good, the bad, and ugly of things. So, obviously, this week, the highlight of this week was the Cam Reddish acquisition, the Cam Reddish trade, and he did meet with the media just today. So, not too much notables, not too much quotables from the press conference, but there was one interesting comment that he made, and we're going to hear it right now. The interviewer did ask him what he thought about his potential here with the Knicks. So let's hear what Cam had to say here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Here's Cam on what he can be with the New York Knicks.
I think I could be a star. I think I could be a legit star. That's what I'm working to be. So, pretty simple. Yeah.
Travis said that yesterday that he wouldn't be surprised if you still became an all-star. Just sometimes maybe the first spot is not the spot what happens. Do you still kind of feel like that you're still on that track?
Yeah, I think I'm still on that track. Continue to put the work in. Like I said, no love lost whatsoever. I know how it goes, but I think it's still there for sure.
All right, JD. So off the bat, my guy Cam Reddish, speaking confidently, man, thinks he could be a star here with the Knicks, man. What did you think when you heard that comment?
I can't say I was surprised, but I was a little bit surprised as well because you're going to a new team and you obviously haven't gotten to that point, and you would think the political or the cliche-ish answer would be something of I'm just trying to get better, just trying to fit in with the team, I'm happy to be here, etc. But he basically set the bar high for himself before playing his first game as a Knick. And so I think that gives you a little bit of a hint as to where his mindset is at in terms of taking advantage of this opportunity. This is a young kid that sees himself as a star. To me, that speaks of confidence, but it also speaks of what he expects from the opportunity that he is, I'm guessing, thinking that he's going to get here, because very rarely do you see players say, I think I'm going to be a star, and they are going to be 100% okay with coming off the bench for their career. So I think from that standpoint, it was definitely interesting to hear him say that.
Yeah, Al, man, to me, that says playing time is definitely going to be promised, which we could all expect. I just hope that, he comes into this thing just being patient, trying to, gel and gain some chemistry with these guys, and don't try to do too much and put too much pressure on himself. You see what happened to Julius just last week, man. Julius has been having a hard year. He's been crackling under the pressure, Cam. So don't put too much expectations on yourself this early, but, I still like the confidence.
Yeah, I like the confidence. I think with him, as you said, CP, he just needs to come in here, just get to work, just slowly get into the routine of everything, start to find his role and what he's going to be on this team. You know, Tom Thibodeau preaches practice. Even earlier this week during a presser, he was talking about got to have the repetitions in. Like, this is not word for word, but you have to have the repetitions in. You have to have good practices in order to get playing time. And you even see how hard it was for Quentin Grimes or even Miles McBride to even get time on the floor. So for Cam, as long as he's just putting in that work, trying to figure out what his role is, I know he's got to get some sort of minutes this season at some point. You know, maybe Tibbs wants to get him some rotations in practice, gel a little bit with everybody else before just throwing him out there on the court for substantial minutes coming off the bench first. But he just got to get comfortable first, man, because honestly, like what we saw down in Atlanta, we saw some sparks, but he's been very inconsistent. So his game hasn't really started to flourish. He hasn't shown anything that he's going to take that next step yet. So hopefully this is the new environment for him to start get going.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. Just take it one day at a time. You know, obviously the playing time is going to come, and we'll see what happens after that. He did say the ankle is a day-to-day situation. Didn't seem to be too concerned about it. You know, Tibbs did say it's going to be a little while, so I guess they're trying to pad in some recovery time plus, you know, practice time as well. They're you know, with the logjam in the rotation right now, there's really no rush per se to get him in. So I guess they're just going to take their time and just wait for him to get healthy. Anything else from the press? It didn't really seem like there was too much there, JD. Did you take away anything else from it?
Yeah, the ankle thing, he, you know, as you mentioned, saying that, you know, they asked him, he says, no, it's not a big deal. He's trending upwards. So that's going to be interesting because, you know, then how soon does he play? And so that I think, you know, looking forward, does he play this week? Do the Knicks hold him back for the road trip? Do they hold him back until some maneuvering happens to allow him to, you know, fit right in? It's going to be an interesting week to see how that plays out. And, you know, I just think overall his mentality. I do want to say this though, CP. I do want to break this here. I was, and there was no article that reported it because it happened through a Twitter space. Brian Windhorst, you know, from ESPN. Yep. He was on a Twitter space and he said that Cam didn't necessarily want to be a New York Knick. Because when he went to Atlanta, supposedly there's some Windhorst knows about a few teams. And the thinking is that Cam looked at, or his agents looked at, you know, teams where he can get that opportunity that he feels. So what does that say to me? That obviously, you know, the Knicks wanted to get him. They got him, you know, regardless. So if that's true, if what Brian Windhorst said is true, then that tells me that the Knicks and Cam had a conversation. And like you mentioned, maybe there's a promise, maybe there's a game plan that they spoke to him about to get him to that point. But I thought it was interesting that, you know, it's not that Cam didn't want to be a Knick. It's just that he didn't see, you know, the Knicks as one of the high priorities in terms of how he felt, you know, and it's understandably so. You look at this roster, you know, that's going to be the big topic moving forward is how does he get the minutes? Because if he's going out on a press conference and he's saying, I think I'm going to be a star, just look how many minutes he's averaging this year. He's at 22, 24. It's hard. It's hard to get, you know, Fournier and Burks, some of these guys to that point, you know? So it's like, how does he get that, you know, more minutes? Because if he's saying that with 23 minutes, you know, this is a young kid that probably wants to get, you know, 30 plus minutes. Yeah. So I just thought that when Windhorst said that, I thought that was very interesting because the Knicks went ahead and still got him. Maybe they're that confident in his ability, and so it's going to be interesting how that transpires.
It also makes me think, you know, in just in terms of the price, it just makes me think like, were there any other, you know, lucrative deals out there? I mean, the Hawks had always been in for a number one pick, for a first round pick. That we had known that from even the off season, that they were looking for a first round pick for him. It just makes me wonder, were there other teams with better situations, or, you know, or are there more red flags than we know? It's just very, very interesting for a kid that, the GM is hyping, the coach is hyping, the next Paul George, the next All-Star, blah, blah, blah. It just makes me wonder why there weren't other offers out there for other teams that could give him that playing time or even start him right away. It's very interesting. What do you think?
I think when you watch Cam, like you watch some of his tape, there's a lot of things like he's considered like the next Paul George because he's 6'8". He's got the 7'1" wingspan. You can put him at the wing. You think that he can get to the rack. He can shoot the ball well. But if you look at how he attacks the game, like this season alone, he's in the 73rd percentile of taking mid-range shots, but yet he's only converting below like around 30%.
Right? Yeah.
He's 30% in the 17th percentile. And that's where he likes to play most of his game. So if you're looking at that and you're like, why aren't you shooting the three well? That's concerning. And then when you start looking at him attacking the lane, he shies away from contact.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like to fit. He doesn't embrace the contact. You'll see that he stops his feet, does a turnaround fadeaway jumper, which is a low percentage shot. This is the type of game that Cam has shown while he's on the court. So if I was another GM and I was looking at Cam to add at the wing, he's not really showing anything that he's going to be a physical guy. And at that position, you need to be physical. You watch RJ Barrett, you see how he's ready to take contact.
Yeah.
You watch someone like Kevin Durant, he's ready to take contact and take it to the rack. Cam Reddish hasn't shown that yet. So I think this is a good buy low and why he hasn't been able to get a lot of playing time down in Atlanta. Also look at like who they signed. They signed Bogey, they have Gallo, you have Herter, you have Hunter, all these other guys who are willing to at least even try to get some contact while going to the rack, especially Hunter. And when you look at that, you're like, okay, I'll go with this guy because Cam's decided just to be a strictly jump shooter, and he hasn't been shown that he's consistent as a jump shooter. So I think that's why other teams are shying away from him. He hasn't shown it. I mean, they even put him down in the G League his rookie season, because he said all of his mechanics were off. He needed to get some stuff back going to get him back on the court. So I think when you're a GM and you're thinking about if you want a first round pick for Cam, do you really want to give up your own pick? And for the Knicks, it wasn't their own pick.
Right.
It was a top 18 protected. So you throw that gamble, and essentially what you're saying is that, sure, we'll gamble on this kid. We'll see what we can do this season and next season with him. Another move's got to come along the way if you're going to try to give him 20 some odd minutes this season. But hey, I think it's a good move. I think you could take that gamble. We do need some wing depth. We need another player, especially if you want to move RJ back to the 2, as some fans would like to see. I think that's a good gamble to check. I think if you look at Grimes too, he's better at the 2 than at the 3 as well. Yeah. So let's see what we can do with Cam at the 3.
And also just to continue to add to that, it's interesting, CP, because like I mentioned, Windhorst said that he didn't criticize the Knicks or anything. He just said that he knows people supposedly knows people within Cam Reddish, and once that happened, they just didn't see the Knicks as that path. But it is what it is. But also, Tibbs, I had a little eye roll when he was talking about, no development is more important than another player, you got to earn it. He said practice is important to him. And I'm thinking, what practice? Do you guys even practice anymore?
Right.
But he's like, so his stance wasn't so, crazy about Cam Reddish. It was more like, hard line. You still got to come here. And I don't know if that's just Tibbs, coaching Reddish from the press conference in terms of, we understand what you want, but you still have to develop the right mentality. I don't know if it's kind of the way that they treated Mitch, or, hey, maybe this is a Leon move. We seen with the Obi pick, with this, Leon seems to be with that young and development stage, and we all know Tibbs likes that ready now veteran player. So it's going to be interesting to see which way it goes, because I think that'll tell me where Tibbs is what side he's on in the middle of all this thing that's going to happen, materialize this week.
It's going to be very interesting indeed. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. Shout out CP's Manscaped Razor in the chat. Came in right on time. I hadn't seen him in the chat. He wasn't in here last night. I don't even know if they were in here last week while I was out, man. But shout out CP's Manscaped Razor for coming in on time and delivering the sponsors message, man. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. All right, so that was the Reddish presser. We'll see when he gets activated and starts playing with the Knicks. And then we're going to talk about some lineups later, man. Things got very interesting before this thing went on live, man. We got to talk about it. We definitely got to talk about it. So everybody got to stay through this whole show when we get to the lineups, man, because things got very, very interesting before this thing kicked off.
Maybe it's this that got me heated. It's the Cowboys. I don't know if you see it. You guys see it?
Oh, yeah. We're definitely smoking on that Cowboys pack tonight. How about them Cowboys, baby? Let's go. Nothing like a Cowboy meltdown on the Sunday, man. I was in such a good mood after that game. Shout out to the 49ers for going in there and stomping them out, embarrassing them. You had people weeping, grown men, grown ladies in the crowd weeping for them Cowboys. Give me a break. Get these guys out of here, man. We know when it comes to crunch time, they're going to choke anyway. Great win by the Niners, man. Shout out to the 49er fans out there. Well deserved.
And shout out to Ash. Somebody go find her.
Somebody go find Ash in Antigua, man. She's down bad right now. Down bad.
And
the
also,
team got smoked.
You also got a shout out for the Patriots for getting that big L too, man.
Oh yeah.
My God. All the teams, man.
Jets
going
fans
down.
and Giants fans rejoicing today, man. Let's go.
It's happy day.
Let's go, man. All right, fellas. Yeah, in other news, we had a good week by the Knicks, man. 3-0 this week. Going up against the Spurs, watching the Mavs, and watching the Hawks, man. Al, I'll start with you. What were your takeaways from this week?
It's got to be RJ Barrett first and foremost, man. Like RJ was just on one this week. 2 back-to-back 30-point games, and he had 27, 28 points last night. Kid's been on fire this week, and it's the way he's been driving to the paint, man. Just being able to just cause havoc and attacking the lane. On top of that, he's just showing that he's a 3-level scorer right now. He's hitting the shots behind the arc, got that mid-range pull-up going, and then he can just finish with either hand when he gets to the rack. It's just been good, and you see the playmaking too. He's able to whip that ball back out to the perimeter. He's been number one, first and foremost, that we have to talk about when it comes to like this week. Another player too has to be Mitchell Robinson, because Mitch has been beasting in the paint, getting the boards, getting the putbacks, been getting numbers back and forth as well. And then Julius has also had a good week too. Can't forget about Julius. Julius has been low key. One game, I forget which one it was. Low key almost had a triple double, so like a quiet triple double. But he's been getting guys activated, getting his points. He was very efficient against the Hawks. So those 3 guys have been just playing really well this week. I think those guys have to be, and your boy Burks. Gotta give out a shout out to Burks too.
Thanks.
Gotta give a shout out to Burks.
Much appreciated, man. On behalf of the Burks Hive, we appreciate the acknowledgement and respect. I mentioned on the show last night, and this was from Tommy Beer. Obviously the what's noticeable is this offense is changing. The offense is changing, and when the offense is not going through Julius, what do you know? Good things are happening. The thing that stuck off the board for me, first and foremost, was the ball movement. 23 assists against the Spurs, and then 24 each against the Mavs and the Hawks. Knicks averaging almost a league worst at 21 assists per game, so still needs to get up there a little bit better, but I thought the ball movement in all 3 games was crisp. They were solid. They were looking for each other. They were playing unselfishly, and I think Julius has to take a lot of credit for that. 8 assists in the Mavericks game, 9 assists in the Hawks game. Shout out to Burks, 6 assists in the Mavericks game, 8 assists against the Hawks. The ball movement has been crispy, and they've been very efficient with the offense. So that's definitely number one. I think Julius has been very efficient himself, just very selfless and very quick in terms of his decision making out there, whether it's passing or scoring. Yes, there's going to be some trouble spots like there was last night, but it is what it is. I think he's been very good this week rather than bad. You mentioned Mitch. I think Mitch has been great just in terms of manning the paint, getting on the boards. I thought he was locked in all three matchups, man. Dominated Pirtle. I can't pronounce this guy's name on the Spurs, but Pirtle. And then went up against the Mavs. They had the Dwight Powell in the paint, and then with no Capella, he was able to have his way against Gorgie Deng. But story of this week is RJ, man. RJ once again, our KnicksFanTV Player of the Week. 29 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 dimes. Shooting 56% from 3 this week, 82% from the free throw line, averaging 6 free throw attempts this week. And, we got to give it a Broadway, man. Something is clicking, as you said last night, with RJ Barrett. as you said last night, JD, something's clicking with this guy, man. He was averaging 7.6 drives through 25 games on average, and now he's up at about 15.8 drives. So as a result, the free throw attempts are up there. You're seeing more Gotham lob attempts between him and Mitch. That connection is there off the pistol action. So he's looking very good in that regard. And overall, man, as Cam Reddish said in his press conference, it's bringing RJ's confidence levels up. And that is improving the overall flow of this team, bro.
Also think, yeah, he's had an outstanding week. Is the best stretch of his career, his young career. What a time, right? What a time for him to pick up his play when you talk about the situation that happened with Julius Randle with the fans. Things was heading south. You lose Kemba, you lose Rose. I remember when the Rose news hit, a lot of people thought the season was over. And so for it's just how everything has transpired, and for him to pick up his play at this specific part of the season, I think you have to give him a lot of credit. It speaks to his attitude. It speaks to his toughness, because he is playing in this market. And, since Rose and some of these players were out, the pressure has picked up on him. The expectations have also picked up on him, and he's responded to that. And boy, has he responded. And, he's also making players around him better. And I think, him playing this way gets me excited about what's coming up this week. Starting against the Hornets, he's going to go against, Gordon Hayward. I think he's going to have a good matchup against the Hornets. So I'm looking forward to see him play there. But then later in the week, you got the Clippers where he's going to play Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, and Batum. He has that big matchup against the Timberwolves, who right now are beating the Golden State Warriors 111-89. He's going to be facing Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, who's a 6'9" defender. So he has, as you can see, the schedule moving forward, the competition at his position is gonna increase, CP, but also the scouting, the game plan is gonna increase. Right. Don't be surprised if you start seeing, opposing teams put their bigger wings on him to challenge him. Don't be surprised if you start seeing teams now back off him a little bit and challenge him to, take that mid-range, which he has, but he may have to do it more. So, moving forward now, we're going to see that second layer, that second jump from him. Hopefully we get to see that. And, I can't wait to see how he adjusts to the adjustments I think he's going to have to make, moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Al, that's been the thing for me that I watch with RJ. It's not the threes. The threes are gonna come and go. I don't expect him to be a splash brother, just a guy that can knock down timely threes. But where I'm watching him intently is inside the paint. It's that mid-range, bro. I want to see what type of adjustments he makes if the bully ball straight to the bucket is not working. Is there a go-to move? Is there a patented move that he's comfortable with inside the paint? Against the Spurs, he was electric. I thought he was finishing very well. Left hand, right hand. Had a nice little mid-range going. You saw a little floater going against the Spurs. Thought you saw the same against the Hawks. I think all week, he did a very good job, man, operating inside that paint. And that's what I'm looking for, because as JD said, once teams start, dropping back on the pick and rolls and ducking under him, we're going to see what type of adjustments he makes and if he can start knocking down those shots.
For sure. And this season alone, this is what we were expecting him coming into, right? Like he was supposed to be working on the pull-up game. We knew he had to get the mid-range going. And as of right now, this week, it's been going really well for him. I think he still has to find that shooter's touch. When you watch it, it's still a little bit too forceful. It hits the back iron. But once he gets a shooting stroke going down, man, that's going to be a game changer, because that just opens it up for everything. When you have to guess where a player has to go on the floor, it makes it that much more difficult for the defense to try to gauge how you defend somebody. And that's why we talk about three-level scores. Three-level scores are, they're so important to an offense, and they're so important just to have it going. Without it, that's what was so good about Julius Randle last season, that he was able to hit those mid-range, and he had a good three-point shot. And he could finish down in the paint as well. And if you get RJ who can do the same thing, having two guys that can do that, that's a dynamic offense right there. And what we're seeing, CP, you talked about how we're starting to see this offense come together and evolve. We're starting to see how it really is going to run through RJ. It looks like because RJ's been doing most of the leading when it comes to scoring, but we see how Julius is too. And it's running through those two guys as like some, even though we don't have a point guard, it's like using both of them as your two-year playmakers.
Yep.
And then having Alec Burks just off ball, doing his thing, Evan Fournier as another playmaker when need be. And I think that's what Tibbs wanted when he wanted Kemba out, is to see this type of offense going and to connect. And we're starting to see that right now. Thankfully, it's around the time of a schedule where it's a little soft for them. That way they can figure this stuff out. And it's just giving these guys confidence. I got a question for both of you guys, though, for you and JD. Who do you think is that matchup this week that RJ has circled on his calendar? Like, obviously, like all of them are going to be important, but who do you think it is?
It's Edwards, baby. It's Edwards, man. No doubt about it, man. Edwards called him out. He bricked that game winner against the game-winning attempt against the Timberwolves in Minnesota last year. It was probably one of our worst losses last year, and Edwards was going in on him, fried him on that one, and so I think RJ's circling that one on both ends. You know, he's got to try to stop Edwards, who's himself has been taking it up a notch in terms of his scoring prowess, and on the other end, he's going to be taking it to him, man. He's going to be taking it to him.
Yeah, I think it's Edwards. Also, yeah, like you mentioned, it's because he feels a lot more confident in his game now, and I'm sure he wants to see how that's gonna look against, you know, somebody as talented as Edwards. But, you know, don't be surprised if from a personal matchup standpoint, if it's Brandon Ingram, that Pelicans game. Now that might be the most winnable game of the week. But from a personal standpoint, facing a guy like Brandon Ingram, who, you know, some people have even mentioned about trading him for a Brandon Ingram, you know, in terms of forums and Twitter conversations. I'm sure from a personal standpoint, that's probably a matchup that he's also looking forward to individually, not from a, you know, Knicks versus, you know, that team standpoint. There's other more challenging games, but I think he's looking forward to that matchup as well.
This is what, before we get back to you, Al, this is what Anthony Edwards had said about RJ Barrett here.
Knicks are out of timeouts.
Possession and how you guys got this one home.
We told Jaden try not to let Randall catch the ball. We're gonna make somebody else beat us. And
game?
you know, gladly RJ Barrett caught it, and you know, if he would have made the shot, we would live with it. I mean, because that's who we wanted taking the shot. We didn't want anybody else taking it.
Oh, all right.
Oof.
I remember that one.
You remember that one, right?
And then RJ responded on Twitter with the laughing emoji with the tear eyes.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, he's circling that one, man.
He would probably trade the Jason Tatum game winner for one against Anthony Edwards. Like that, like how Jason Tatum that's a great player to have that memory, you know, in terms of hitting game winner, and you did it against. But I'm sure, Jason Tatum's a more established player right now, but he might trade that winning shot for one, opportunity against Anthony Edwards. That would be special.
I remember that game too. I was at that one where Jason Tatum hit the baseline jumper because Mook just hit it on the other side. And then it goes to Jason Tatum. I was like, oh, is this going to be it? I was like, oh, that was such good defense too. Tatum just had that. He has that move like down packed. But I can get behind that one. Anthony Edwards is the guy that you want that shot over.
Yeah. Because
Anthony, he's a dog, man. I'm looking forward to watching him play live, man. They say he's on another level when you watch him play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Go ahead, JD.
Just wanted to quickly add, in terms of RJ, this also I think helps Cam because, he like we mentioned, he's saying that he believes he's going to be a star. He believes he can be a star. And, this is a guy that if this is his mentality, and let's say RJ would have been playing like he was prior to this stretch, you could understand Cam coming in here and thinking that he has to be the guy to blossom and elevate. Right. He would feel maybe that internal pressure because, before RJ went on the stretch, we were trying to figure out how we can play better, who has to step up, who's not playing well. Now he has a guy and, coincidentally is a former teammate that is elevating, and that may allow him at least mentally to ease in and not feel so much pressure. You don't have to come in and start scoring 30. You can just come in and just fit in and see how you improve. So I think that also, RJ's, improvement will also help Cam mentally, transition to the team.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. And I think the overall play of the team right now, team's playing well. And so he's certainly coming into a nice situation right now before we get into the gauntlet. And that is that West Coast trip coming up in the beginning of February, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. This is Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. We are recapping the good, the bad, and the ugly. The week that was for the New York Knicks. Knicks going 3-0 on the campaign, 22-21. First time over 500 in about 2 months. So things are on the up and ups for the Knicks right now, man. How many people we got in the chat? We got 1,200 people in the chat right now. Salute to everybody. As I said, man, go out there, go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Shout out my guy Tom from Huntington, man. He said, you guys hear him all the time. He said Manscaped saved his marriage, and for good reason, because they have a ton of products for today's man. I always rock with the Lawnmower 4.0. That's the flagship. Got to go with that. Number one men's grooming tool below the waist, fellas. It is wintertime right now. You know, maybe you're going with the Van Gundy right now, but it's gonna start heating up. So you know, as it starts heating up, you want to trim it. You know what I mean? Trim those hedges and don't be out there lacking, man. You don't want to ruin your first date. You know, you're just not presentable. So you got the Lawnmower 4.0. Then you have the perfect package 4.0, and that's like your gift set. So it comes with the lawnmower, comes with the weed whacker, you got your hair and nose trimmer, you got comes with a pair of boxer briefs, you have your ball deodorant, very, very important. And then you got other stuff here, man. You got your ball toner. You know, that's kind of like the ball deodorant, but, you know, if you're on the run, you know, you just spray a couple on there, you're good to go. Freshen up real quick. And then new in stock, you have the body wash and the shampoo and conditioner. So Manscaped has been taking care of us, man. Me, JD, Al, CK2K, the whole squad is laced with Manscaped products right now. So, you know, get ahead and go out there and get it, man. 3 million satisfied customers. You see JD flashing the travel bag. He's not playing around with it. So he's taking the Lawnmower 4.0 everywhere he needs to be. He's not going to be out there caught lacking. And that's what we do, man. Manscaped.com. Promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Shout out to CP's Manscaped Razor in the chat. All right. Got to pay the bills. Shout out to Russell Whiskey. He sends a super chat. He says Mitch is number 2 in box out per game, according to NBA.com. Yeah, that's right, man. Shout out to the Block Nest Monster. Definitely playing well right now. First and foremost, you're just thankful that he's healthy. He looks good. He's running well. He's moving well. And, you know, rebounds is his forte. That's where we need him to be, and manning the paint as well, protecting the paint. And so Mitch is he's picking up where he left off. 90th percentile in block percentage, 3.2%. Offensive rebounding percentage, which is his forte, 89th percentile, 13.1%. But he's moving up, fellas, in defensive rebounding percentage. He's now in the 60th percentile at 18.8%. So he's getting on the defensive boards a lot better. In his previous 3 seasons, he was in the 33rd to 38th and the 46th percentile, respectively. So Mitch is getting out there, man. It's very important. I think it helps our defense overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, defense, he is that rim protector that we need. Without him playing the way that he is, you know, it makes it a lot easier for other teams to score on us. And you just see how he's able to guard the pick and roll. I mean, just look at against Atlanta and how he was guarding Trae Young when Trae Young was trying to get into the paint. When you can just alter someone's shot without having to actually block it. And that's the thing that we're seeing from Mitch right now, is that he's not fouling a lot. He's not just chasing
only
blocks.
One foul against the Hawks yesterday. One foul. And that was late in the second half.
Yep, and that's beautiful. That is legit growth that we're in development that we're seeing from our young guys. You know, you can shout out to Kenny Payne for helping him figure out how to do all that type of stuff. But you're starting to see him play smart. You're starting to see him use his length instead of just trying to guard everybody, like thinking that he's a guard, and then start whacking a mole out there, hitting everybody, just getting in foul trouble left and right, trying to block every single shot. He doesn't have to, and he's starting to realize that he's important on the floor, so he can't get in foul trouble. And then just recognition of like where he has to be on the floor as well, and his ability to guard the pick and roll with his just athleticism for his height. Game changer, absolute game changer.
Well, I know you guys are gonna try to scheme on me later in the show and probably destroy what I may have to say. So I might as well just give my opportunity now and ask you guys, putting you on the spot, are you paying him right now? You paying him? He's averaging 15 the last 3 games. Where has Mitch ever done that? 15 and 11, 2 blocks. 86% from the field. Has this recent performance changed any mindset you have towards Mitch's future as a New York Knick?
Well, I always wanted to see if we could, get him on a friendlier deal than most would offer him, and then if need be, you continue his development, and if a trade transpires down the road, or if a trade opportunity comes about, then you look into it. I think I would. I think I would. I think I would.
Interesting show.
I think I would. That's my guy, man. I'm a little bit biased. I would give him his money. You know what I'm saying?
Got the new shirts. Got the new merch.
We do have the new shirts, man. Go out there and get the Blockness Monster shirts. Link in the video, in the bio, in the video description.
But I'm leaning towards paying Mitch too with this. If he can keep this type of play up, that's the player we've been asking for. And then if you can start adding more to that game, I mean, Mitch has been the true definition of a project. And we, coming into this league, that's what everyone said. He missed a year of college. He didn't have that type of repetition that he needed. You knew what you were signing up for with a second-round pick during that time. So is it shocking that it's taken this long for him to finally transpire into what fans were thinking? There's people out there who'd like to take him, see him take jump shots and whatnot. He doesn't need to. If you can just do this, that's a serviceable center. And if you could add a little bit more, just of a post game, sky's the limit for Mitch. But I'm leaning towards paying him. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's just sky's the limit then if he can do it. But at this point, I'd pay him. The question is always the number, but I think I'd want to keep Mitch on this team.
I give him someone close to what they're giving him the Time Lord. I give him close to that.
What was that, 45?
Robert Williams?
He's 4 for 48.
He's going to look at Robert Williams' money.
He's 4 for 48.
Yeah, 100% I'd do that.
What contract is that? Robert Williams?
Yeah. 40. That's 4 for 48.
Yeah, next year he's going to be at 10, 7, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. I would.
Not bad.
I would do that. I would do that.
The interesting thing is if you sell high, then who's the replacement? The only other, from I guess what I'm hearing, that we would accept would be a Miles Turner.
Yeah.
What other centers are out there that, and in my opinion, if you're going to move on from Mitch, you either are going to change your style and go small. In terms of justifying it, you either change your style and go small, or you replace him with a stretch 5 that can defend, which is Miles Turner. Because if you're going to replace him with a cheaper option, then you better make sure it's a guy that's durable and that can play. Because we see with Nerlens Noel, a Nerlens Noel type would be a cheaper option type of player, but as you can see, Nerlens Noel is not playing.
If we didn't pay Noel, I feel a lot better about paying Mitch. I would say no brainer. Sign me up. The Noel deal was ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous the day we signed him. I thought it was a little less ridiculous when the team terms came out, the team-friendly deal. Now he can't even get on the court. Didn't I tell you when he was in the COVID protocol that he's probably nursing the left knee as well? He comes back. Which game did he come back for? The Spurs or the Mavs game? And then he was out again. Or was it both games? Did he play in both games?
No, he came back for the Mavs game.
Came back for the Mavs game. Come back one game, and then he's gone again with the left knee. I told you that was the issue, man. I told you that was the issue.
I remember that was the game where I said he looked healthier, he looked a little bit more spry, and that's how much it lasted. That's why again. Then after that he gave it his all, and his body did not hold up. So
terrible deal, man. So I mean, and that's one of those things I don't see them getting out from under it until they just decline the team option next year. After next season.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see it.
Yeah, and the thing for Noel too is you think about it, and that deal was just he helped us get to being 4th defensively in the league. So you reward him for his play. You see what he's going through. You with the lawsuit, so you think, all right, why not be the good guy in this deal? As the Knicks, just pay him, give him the 2 full years for everything that he's gone to. So I get it. Right now, it just looks bad because he legit has not played many games this season at all. So it's and he comes back, and then he goes back out for the knee again. And you're like, really? The knee again? Yeah. So, but Miles Turner is no durable center either. He's not the guy who I think of just he's going to play 70 some odd games this season.
Mm-hmm.
He stretches the floor. Yeah. Like he stretches the floor, but like if you're asking me who's a better rebounder, I think Mitch is by far the better rebounder. Honestly,
Easily, easily.
yeah, especially on the offensive glass.
Yeah,
It's
easily.
Mitch. So
Easily.
Well, the Miles Turner thing might have just went out the window today with the Mark Stein report.
What'd he
That
say?
He is, I mean, according to Mark Stein, he is Miles Turner's has a sore left foot. He's out for tomorrow's game against the Clippers, and he's going to seek a second opinion on the injury.
Okay.
So
All right.
now is that BS because a trade is coming, or is But I mean, when you're reporting, you're gonna go get a second opinion. Then I think he's there may be an actual legitimate injury there, because otherwise he would just be out. You don't even have to report that you're going out to get a second opinion,
Right.
unless you were actually hurt. So,
Interesting.
and we've talked about Miles Turner, 7-foot guys with leg, feet injuries. That's what he's had in the past. Here he goes again. You're gonna pay a guy like that. So, got to be careful what you wish for sometimes.
True story. So to everybody in the chat, once again, let's get those likes up. We got 1,000 people in here. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks Weekly, presented by Manscaped, CP the Franchise, Alex Rataris, the Stratocaster, JD Sports Talk in the building. I see a couple people calling in on the Discord, and then we have a couple on the switchboard. We're gonna run through the whole program first because I want to get the callers' opinions on the whole lineup situation. I want your lineup predictions as well. So let's we got 2 more things to touch on, then we'll get to the lineup thing. The second thing I wanted to touch on, we did our play of the week, RJ. How about stat of the week, fellas? Stat of the week this week is the Knicks defense is starting to pick it up a little bit. We talked about Mitchell Robinson and his impact on things. Since opening night to Christmas Eve, December 24th, the Knicks had the 23rd ranked defensive rating of 110.9. From December 25th until now, they've been the 2nd ranked defense in the NBA at 104.1. So currently it's moved them up a couple ticks to 16th. But overall, man, I think that's been a big plus in this team's turnaround has been their effort on the defensive end, and it's starting to pay dividends. I think in the wins and losses columns. Al, what do you see from this Knicks defense in the past couple of games?
Well, in the past couple of games, I mean, out of the last 13 games, 9 of them they kept the opponent under 100 points. So that's really impressive in the modern NBA. So the Knicks defense is starting to come together. It's something that the players were talking about at the beginning of the season, where they just needed time to gel. Tom Thibodeau system, ice defense, knowing how to rotate and to make the pass difficult for what's on the long side, so that way they have to get out to the 3-point line. That's the whole part, and that is a more nuanced defense that Thibodeau likes to run. So it makes sense that it takes time. It takes time, and that's the identity of this team. To see that coming around is really good, because that's what this team was built on last season. You need it. And defense, as Ash likes to say, defense travels well, and that's what's going to help this team moving forward and to stay in games, because offense could come and go. We're not known as an offensive threat in this league, so the only thing that you can rely on is your defense. And if you could play teams very hard, make them grind it out to get these wins, make them feel like they worked like 10 times harder than most nights, hey, that's what we need to be that represents New York Knicks basketball. That's what we've grown up on. That's what we realized from the 90s. So it's good to see it turn around. I think the thing that's helping is having Mitch look healthy.
Yeah.
Like that, having Mitch healthy and just being able to run and keep up with guys stops guys from being able to come in and score. And then, I think we've also gotten lucky a couple of nights, especially against Dallas, where most of those guys couldn't hit a shot from 3. But I think overall, perimeter defense starting to tick up. Guarding the 3 hasn't been great, but paint defense been pretty good so far.
Yeah,
and I know some people have talked about some of the level of competition is picked up from an individual matchup standpoint. You played the Celtics twice there, and you were playing that duo of Jason Tatum and Brown twice. You played Luka Doncic, you played Trae Young. So overall, the teams may have not, in terms of last, since the new year, but you have played some very good players. And I think it's also, you know, the matchups, the lineups, you know, putting Burks at the one, I think has helped because, you know, it's allowing them to switch. We saw it against the Hawks. They switched a lot. You saw Randall a lot of times. That's not to say that that's what you want to see, you know, in terms of Randall guarding a Trae Young. But, you know, when you're playing a Burks at the one and you're using his 6'5" height and strength, we talked about how he liked, you know, one of the reasons why he liked Elfrid Payton last year at the one. Elfrid Payton was a 6'3", 6'4" guard, and it allowed, you know, Tibbs to mix and match. And so having Burks there at the one has allowed him to do that. I think RJ's play offensively has elevated his defense. I know that coaches love to say that, hey, when your offense is not going, you got to play defense. And that is true, but that's not necessarily how these players today work. You know, today it seems like, you know, when the offense gets going, they get motivated on defense. And so since the Knicks offense has improved, it has also allowed them to play with more energy on the defensive end.
Yeah, no question about it. And as I said, you know, getting on the boards helps, man. You know, number 8th in offensive rebounds per game, 8th in offensive rebounding percentage, 15th in defensive rebounds per game, and 10th in defensive rebounding percentage. So, you know, getting on the boards will obviously slow the other team down from getting out there. They're actually number 5 in opponents' fast break per game. So, starting to slow that down. And as we talked about, what's been consistent all year long is opponents' points in the game, points in the paint per game. Number 3 in the league, ranked 3rd in the league, and ranked 6th in opponents' points per game. So hopefully we can continue to keep that up. The individual efforts have been better, from Burks to RJ. You know, even Fournier's out there, you know, giving it a little bit more. We know Julius can be engaged as long as he's getting his buckets and getting fair treatment from the refs. But if those things go out the window, you know, you already know he's the weak link of the defense, because you already know he's not playing no defense if he's not getting his calls. So we just gotta keep him happy, and we'll have a more engaged Julius Randle. But good job by them, man. Definitely picking it up on the defensive end.
And I also think, you know, the young players, they're continuing to get better on the defensive end. You know, we've talked about Emmanuel Quickly playing with a ton of energy off the bench. I think, you know, Quickly and Grimes, that duo coming off the bench has helped them defensively. Quentin Grimes playing consistent minutes. You know, his last 6 games, Grimes is averaging almost 20 minutes per game. So, you know, including Grimes into the rotation for, you know, 20 minutes per game consistently has allowed them to, you know, to play better on defense.
Yeah, no question about it. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. All right, fellas, let's get into this thing right here, man. Because with the addition of Cam Reddish, and I'm just watching the Kansas City Chiefs steamrolling the Steelers right now. Steeler Nation, you guys are down bad. They just ran a Wildcat without Travis Kelce, so they out here styling on the Steelers right now. So this one's over. So anyway, with Cam Reddish in tow here, Tibbs has a lot of decisions to make. Shout out Pudge Nice in the chat, man. Took the words right out of my mouth. And Jonathan Ruiz, what are the lineup CPs? All right, so everybody's anxious. Everybody's anxious here. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of decisions for Tibbs to make. You already have Rose and Kemba out and hopefully coming back soon. Kemba is questionable for tomorrow against the Hornets. Now, from what we've heard Tibbs say, JD, he's only going 9 deep in this rotation. At least from what he says. He says going 10, 11, 12 is basically, it's not happening. He says no one does that.
Which is false, but yeah, he says no one.
He says no one's going 10, 11, 12, which means I'm not going 10, 11, 12. So with that in mind, what are your predictions? Let's go predictions and then what you would like to see. All cards on the deck, everybody healthy, Cam Reddish healthy, Rose Kemba. Where are you going in your rotation?
Ooh, who's starting this?
I want you to start. Yeah, Al. Well, yeah, go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
Oh man. Oh God, here we go again.
Prediction and what you would like to see.
Predictions and what I would like to see. Everyone's healthy. Also, I just want to say, I like how Tibbs says no one does a 10-man rotation, but he did that last season. And he started the season off doing a 10-man rotation. Right. But I digress. If everyone's healthy, I think we're going to see. It's hard not to have Kemba back in there after the way he performed. If we're having everybody, I think Kemba's going to be in there. Fournier's going to be in there. RJ, Julius, and Mitch. I think that's your 5 right there.
Okay.
It comes down to the bench. It really comes down to the bench. Oh, man.
Oof.
Are we doing 10? Are we doing like 10 off the bench? Are we doing another 5 off the bench? Or are we doing the 4 that he wants?
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Go 10.
So wait, what's your starting 5 again?
My starting 5?
You said Kemba?
Yeah.
The same?
Yeah.
So just keep in mind, Reddish already has an eye out. You don't have me on your starting 5. He already has an eye out. Like, okay, let's see how this works out.
Yeah, this is where it gets.
It's gonna get tricky.
This is where it gets. Oh man, you're asking for everyone's healthy.
Yeah, everyone healthy.
Yeah, I think second is going to come down to you got to have Rose. I think it's going to be quick. I think if you bring in Cam, you got to have Cam in there at the. Yeah,
that's 8.
I'm gonna put Burks in there too.
That's 9. Where's your center?
Oof. Nerlens Noel's healthy, man. You know, kid likes his rim protection.
Nerlens Noel.
Oof.
Oof.
Nerlens.
I'm thinking what he wants to do. Keep in mind, this is what Tibbs is going to do. This is not what I want. Yeah. Now you want who I want in there? Is that it? Am I going back to back? Oh, okay. I'd like to see this thing go. I would really like to see Grimes in the starting unit and just have and just remove Fournier. So it'd be like,
but like do what you want to see, but would allow us to at least still win some games or something.
Yeah. I got you.
Let's re-sign Wade Selden and put him in the start like none of the last stuff.
Right. Okay. Okay. If it was what I would do,
got Grimes?
I got Grimes. Put RJ, Julius, Mitch in there. Man, this is tough. Go Burks at at that point guard and give me Rose. Give me Rose, Quick, Cam, Obi, Noel.
Okay.
Well, I mean we're violating because we're going 10. But I mean Tibbs said 9, but I don't know how he goes.
I don't know how he goes 9 here.
Which tells you, there's definitely going to be some movement. I would
gotta be.
So I go.
Yeah. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Buckle up, people in the chat. Let's go.
Prediction. I think if Kemba does not play tomorrow, we may have seen his last game as a Knick.
Okay.
Because if he doesn't play tomorrow and the Knicks win tomorrow, I don't know how, like
momentum.
Alex said, I don't know how you don't go back to Kemba, but I also don't know how you do, because at the same time, the problem with Kemba, this is the problem with Kemba. He can't play. He can't play back-to-backs.
Right.
And, he can get hot. And if you play him 35 minutes in that game, you may not have him for the next game. So there's like an actual issue here.
Yeah.
Like, aside from everything, there's an actual health issue that's going on here. And he's coming back from this, knee injury. Like, is this thing going to get better? Like, to me, just cut ties. I'm waiving him. I'm sorry. I'm waiving Kemba. I believe that, just there was a reason why when he sat out, he wasn't moved, because there's no value for him. So what are you going to get for Kemba at this point? Yep. You may have had your opportunity when he played well, but you decided to play him 40 minutes a game for 4 straight games, and now you don't have it. So maybe the Knicks botched that there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you had your opportunity, to raise his value and maybe get a 20, 25 second round pick or something. And, and I think last year that's what they wanted to do with the Austin Rivers situation. Nuggets, Jamal Murray got hurt. and that materialize. It hasn't around the NBA right now. There's a lot of parity in the league, so there's no value for Kemba. So I'm personally I'm cutting ties. I'm waiving him. I'm done with it. Do you want me to say the other thing I said?
Yeah. Let's go. Turn up.
Oh man,
let's go.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves.
All right, guys, listen, man. I know that I know when I say this, I've had a good relationship with you guys, and I might just crush it, and just hear me out here. It's all for the better. I'm cutting ties with Derrick Rose.
I'm
cutting ties.
Man.
I'm looking to move him. If you can find something for him now, go ahead and do it.
Whoa.
Let's keep going with the way that we going. If RJ's going to continue to play this way, I'm ready to go more with some of the younger players, because at the end of the day, I love Derrick Rose, right? He's 33 years old. He's trending towards the Kemba route. And I know you guys are going to be emotional, and you're going to say this and that.
Oh, you're getting it right now.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of tomatoes. We can make some ketchup right now. We can make some ketchup right now.
It's fine now. But we're not winning the championship this year. So now next year, Derrick Rose is 34 years old. At this point, he has this ankle injury. This is a guy that's had all these injuries from the knees to the ankles. What are our real expectations of Rose moving forward? He's attached to Tibbs. And to me, let's just move forward with some of the young guys. It opens up a lane for Grimes to play more minutes. It opens up a lane for maybe Deuce McBride, right? And it continues the focus. This is what I want you guys to think about. It continues the focus of continuing to develop RJ and giving him that playmaking. So I'm looking at it from what is the best path to continue to not have Tibbs, have Derrick Rose come back, and then now Derrick Rose is, managing the games, and then we forget about RJ, because we all know that could very well happen. So to me, I'm looking at this from a next year standpoint in terms of what is the best way that I can continue to get some of these young guys minutes and some of these young guys development, because you guys can get upset now, but don't be surprised if Rose comes back and these veterans come back, you guys are going to be calling the same show. JD, how come Quentin Grimes is not playing? Well, you know why Quentin Grimes is not playing? Because Derrick Rose is playing. You know why Quentin Grimes is not playing?
Yeah.
Because Kemba's playing. You know why, Obi's not playing? Because he's going to put Noel as a backup center. So that's why I'm looking at it as, look at the way we're playing now. We thought that the season was over when Derrick Rose is out, but right now the Knicks are playing very well. And I know you guys are not going to hear what I'm trying to say. You're not going to hear the vision, but I guarantee you in due time, you will see what I mean.
Rose Hive, there are tomatoes flying in the chat. Rose Hive, I try to tell them this was going to be very controversial for the chat. I try to tell them. I try to warn them. I said, be easy with the take.
You want to keep Rose for how long? One more year. Okay, what do we accomplish? In the grand scheme of things, what are we really accomplishing by saying, okay, let's keep Rose for one more year? Like, when you really think about it, because Rose is a player that you have to play.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play him. And as long as Tibbs is here, you know what? He's going to play. He's going to play a lot.
He's going to play. I'm wondering, I'm still wondering how much he is going to play on the ankle. Like, how much is he going to put on it?
So what's the point?
I'm wondering how much he could give us with the ankle. I did say, a couple weeks ago, if they're on the downward trend, I would definitely look to sell off all the vets, Burks and Rose included, because I think they're our most, probably the easier deals to unload rather than Fournier. But where we are right now, and it all depends on when he's coming back. Right now, they said he's starting rehab, so we really don't know when he's coming back. So I would include him in my rotation. Here's how I would go. I agree with you 100% on the Kemba thing. I think we need to shelf it. The whole fact that he's missed all these time with the sore knee, I don't see that improving. The fact that they don't feel like, well, it was reported in the post that he may not be able to play back-to-back games again this year, and I don't see why he would. I just think the whole question mark behind his availability, I don't think it serves us well, despite him playing well. I think I would put Kemba back situational and figure it out from there. Somebody else gets hurt, you bring him back in there. I would just keep the same starting five. I think they have a lot of chemistry. My guy Burks is not in the ideal role. I get that. But RJ's starting to take that next step. It takes a little bit of pressure off of Burks. And Burks is kind of trending well. Last 2 games, 14 dimes. Last 2 games, he's playing good defense. Having an efficient night scoring. So shout out to my guy Burks. So I'm keeping the same starting 5. Now for the bench. I'm going, if Rose is back, I'm gonna go Rose, IQ, Cam. You gotta go 10. I'm going Rose, IQ, Cam, Obi, and I'm going Taj, man. Noel's pissing me off with the durability thing. Taj is coming in, he's beasting. He beasted last night. He deserves the playing time. I'm going with Taj, man. Give us a little bit more offense. I'm going with Taj. So on the outside looking in is gonna be, yes, Quentin Grimes. It's gonna be Noel, and it's gonna be Kemba. Now, I think Grimes can still get situational, defensive assignments.
Situational defensive assignments. That's what y'all want?
Listen. What I'm saying is this. If it does come down to Quentin Grimes being on the outside looking in, what I will say is this. Rose, Burks, and even Fournier, they're not long-term options. I still think Grimes has time to show his worth to this organization and the fan base, and he'll be here. I think his time is going to come. It's already now. His time is now. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying within the context of what we have right now, what we're dealing with, and the investments that you made financially, I think he may get impacted.
So the 19 minutes that he's getting now, you're saying are going to decrease.
Yeah. If you bring in Reddish, and you have a year and a half to see what you have in Cam Reddish. You have 4 years with Quentin Grimes. That's how I'm seeing it.
And if you don't have Rose and Kemba, Grimes plays.
Absolutely.
Because you're going big at the one.
No question.
And if you guys look at that sequence Grimes had in the third quarter against Trae Young, 4 possessions. Yeah. He hit a 3. I mean, everybody's upset with Noel, but I'm telling you guys, I love Derrick Rose, but it's actually also looking out for him. Get him to a contender. He's, a contender would take him. But we need to start thinking about the guys that are impacting, and this is not even for Deuce McBride. This is more for Quentin Grimes in terms of getting him these consistent minutes in the 20-minute range. I think that's the sweet spot for him. I'm telling you, if Rose and these guys come back, the young guys are going to get impacted because it's Tibbs. Maybe if Johnny Bryant, somebody else was coaching, it would maybe be different. But I know you guys are emotional now. It's like the girlfriend or the boyfriend you have. You should move on. But you're like, what? Let me hold on another month. Maybe things will change. It's not going to change. I'm just taking the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it from a perspective of what I believe was best for the current roster that we have and kind of get this thing going, man. All right. So Rose comes back in another 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Are you guaranteeing that he's going to play every single game? Like, what happens if he gets hurt again? Are you going to turn around and start to see the light? Or is it too late next year and now you're not able to get anything for him? So what I'm looking at it is this way. I don't want it to be a situation where we have what we're dealing with Kemba. The situation we have with Kemba now is Kemba personally, his health has gotten to a point where you can't get nothing for him. The only thing that you can do is waive him.
Yeah.
So Noel is trending that way, and Rose could trend that way. So what are we going to have at the end of the bench? A bunch of veterans, 34, 35, and you can't even get anything for them. To me, it's like, let's get this thing going now.
Al, jump in.
My thing with their I understand where you're coming from with Derrick Rose. Here's my thing with Derrick Rose, though. He gives us that calm, stable presence at the one that we just
Under
do not
pressure.
have.
Under pressure.
Like when you need somebody who
Tibbs
can
is
get to the
keeping
rack.
that in there, bro.
Yo,
That's his
you
son.
can't get and you can't get rid of that. You can legitimately not get rid of that. Like he legit helped us in the playoffs last season by being a one-man show. And even this beginning of this season too, coming in off the bench, you just see what he brings. He brings calmness. He brings an ability to organize the offense. He's helping Obi get active.
The Obi factor. The Obi factor.
I'm so
we
calm. He brings calmness. I'm so calm.
The Obi factor,
oh my
bro.
Goodness, bro.
The only
Come
one
on.
that
He
can
has
get
one.
Obi
Listen, he
activated.
has 1 year left after this year.
Yeah.
He has 1 year left, and then he has a team option.
Right.
So there's no guarantee that he's here after next year.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, like,
That's true.
I know right now, but when you look at it from a contract standpoint, if Rose was signed for 2 more guaranteed years and then a team option, I would definitely get your perspective.
Yeah.
But the fact that we only really have him for 1 year, he's had this big injury. I'm just saying.
Dude, if he gets injured, though, look what happens right now. We have a spot open right now that we could just swap. If Cam was healthy right now, I'm sure Cam would be sliding in and we'd have 10 guys right there. The guys that you're talking about, Kemba, I understand. Honestly, if you want to talk to me, I think it's Evan Fournier that needs to be moved. If you look at the plethora of wings that we have at this point. We have Fournier, we have RJ, we have Grimes, we have Cam. We have so many guys at the wing right now.
Yeah,
and
but
if you
see,
put Quick back at 2, it's tough.
I think both of those are both of your points on Rose and Fournier. To me, I think those are more longer term visions. I'm talking about in the confines of what they're trying to do right now, which is win games and make the playoffs. I think they're both going to play, and I think they're both going to factor into this rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Rose, they're not going to keep Rose on the bench, right? So that's where I'm coming from. To me, I'm making Kemba situational. I'm keeping the same starting 5. I'm going Rose, IQ, Cam, Obi, and I'm putting Taj. We got to go 10. There's no way, unless Tibbs is just saying scratch Obi altogether. I don't know.
I can't see that happen. That looks real bad on the organization to draft the guy at the 8 and then not use him. Yeah,
you're gonna shelf your number. Is IQ getting shelved? I mean, no, he hasn't been trending well this week, but that's just a couple of games. I think overall he's had a pretty solid year.
Yeah.
I just
and you
think
need a
he's
shooter.
heavily invested in.
Listen, man, I think that if Cam develops and RJ continues to play this way, I think the real value of Rose decreases because the value that Rose holds prior to this RJ, right? Prior to this, the value of Rose was he's your closer. He can take that big shot, or I mean, he's our best option in terms of the shot creation and the ability to be clutch in big moments and respond. He plays well on the road, especially shooting the 3-point shot on the road. But if Cam develops and RJ continues this play, you have Julius. You know, I'm ready to see some of these young guys get these crunch time minutes and these crunch time opportunities for development. And listen, if it means that you have to make some painful transactions, I'm ready to take those chances. And so, but in terms of this year, if he comes back and he's healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts because of, the way that Tibbs manages it. Does he go ultimate bench? Because the thing is, if Rose is back healthy, are you going back to that Rose IQ backcourt? With Cam, I think in my lineup, I probably would go. I think it's gonna be maybe Rose. Man, I don't know, man. Because a lot of people in the chat were saying, JD, how you say Rose and not Fournier? I don't think Fournier is going to get moved.
No, Fournier's not getting moved, man.
If anything, and I'd rather, y'all know me.
Yeah, we know.
I was still, because now everybody's
with you, JD.
Everybody's like, JD, a public apology because Evan Fournier is playing better.
Bugging.
No, this is what we wanted. Like, people forget that point. The way he's playing now, that's a great thing. Because when he wasn't playing well, everybody was saying, well, he needs to play well to get his trade value. And now that he's playing well and potentially getting his trade value up, now does that mean that that I change my stance? It doesn't mean that I change my stance. It's just because of his contract, I don't think unless you're attaching an asset, you're not getting rid of that contract, at least not this year.
Fournier's not moved, man.
So to me, it would be Burks. And I don't like it, but that's just the way the business is. So I think Fournier is here to start, and then you have RJ, you have Julius, you have Mitch, and then what happens with that one spot? Do you go Cam? You know, if Burks is gone, because if Burks is gone, to me, it's either Rose or Cam.
Yeah. I think that's more. But Tibbs likes Burks too, man. I think Tibbs is a Burks high member.
Burks isn't going anywhere, bro. Man, Burks ain't going. He's our best isolation scorer. There's no way he's going anywhere. A lot of people
think there has to be a trade.
But something has to happen though. You know one name we haven't mentioned. Y'all ducking that name, Obi.
No, I had him in the rotation. But that's why I went 10. Because I said I'm going Rose, IQ, Cam.
But
Obi,
the thing is, if there's no point of this, Obi's he's not even in the rotation. He's playing out there, but I'm not even seeing it because he's only playing, 8-9 minutes.
Yeah, he's getting participation trophies out there. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? He's getting participation.
His last 5 games, what's his 3-point percentage?
What, 20-something?
0.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to make a decision here at the trade deadline for him. I think he might be the odd man out.
There's a
in other words, do we see this team being fully healthy and no moves? Because that's what I'm saying. Because I don't see a way that can happen. Because if that does happen, to me, Obi's out of the rotation. And how can you have your lottery pick now all of a sudden in year 2 sitting at the end of the bench? You can't let that happen.
The only way I see them consolidating things is if it makes sense. I don't think that they're not just gonna make a rush move to accommodate Reddish and lighten the load or the glut at the position. It's got to make sense.
So why trade for him?
Because
there's got to be a trade coming. There has to be another trade coming. You have to free up.
I don't think it necessarily has to be at the deadline. It could be in the off season as well. Could be in the off season as well.
That's rough, man.
You gave up a draft pick, first round pick, albeit protected, to a guy that clearly made it clear that I want. He went to the Atlanta Hawks and said, "I need to go to a place where it's not going to work out here." So you're bringing that guy here with the whole Duke connection. He seems like a confident player. So I don't know that if he doesn't get the opportunity that he's going to be one of these quiet players that's not going to, make his feelings felt. So you're bringing a potential distraction for what?
Well, the thing is, it won't be him making any type of request. He's represented by Clutch. From what reports have said is that Cam's pretty much a quiet dude. And it's really it's going to be Rich Paul who's advocating for Cam to be this guy, to be that type of player, because that's what Clutch is all about, getting the players that shine, put them in the forefront, making them the guy. So that's why Cam's got to play. Cam has to play.
Yeah. No, he's definitely going to play.
Yeah.
There's no question.
The thing is, I think there's another move coming. I think you have to offload a few of these guys to move it up for everybody, because there's no way you can just say, all right, Grimes, we got Cam in here now. You're going to be here for the next couple of years. You've been playing really well, kid, but you got to take a back seat now. How does that look? If Tibbs all about you earn it and you get it, how is Cam going to come in here and then hasn't even earned it yet, but is guaranteed minutes? There has to be another move coming to open up some stuff.
I've said it. There has to be, but it's not guaranteed. And what I'm saying is, whether it's this off season or at the trade deadline, you still have time. You can still trade Burks, you can trade Rose, you can trade 40. I don't know.
Hold on, would you say you could trade who?
No, I said Burks.
And then who said after that?
I said wait.
Come on.
wait. What'd I say?
You said you could trade Rose.
Right, I'm saying in the offseason.
Oh, I thought.
I'm saying in the offseason.
I thought I heard
what I'm basically getting at is, again, the time for Grimes and Cam can come in the offseason. And you still have time. You still have the whole year to evaluate Cam. I'm just saying, I don't think they are in a pressure situation to make a trade just to lighten up the rotation. I think they will try to, but I don't think they'll be desperate at the deadline.
So you think that under what you just finished saying, that Cam will be okay with an off-season plan with 40 games left or whatever it is, and in the next 40 games he's taking Obi's 11 minutes, he's not going to be that. He didn't sign up for that.
No,
There's
I
no
think,
way.
I think he
you
will
might
get
even
his
you might
minutes.
destroy that relationship.
No, I think he'll
with
get
that
his
game plan.
minutes. He'll get his minutes in the 9-man rotation. I think you're going to see him closing at the 3. I think you'll see him closing games at the 3. Yeah, especially on the defensive side, they're going to sit Fournier in crunch time situations, especially if RJ has it going. You know what I'm saying? I think Cam will still get close to his 20 off the bench.
To me, it's Obi and Fournier. That's how you get the minutes for Cam. Mm-hmm. Oh, because as soon as Fournier starts a game 0 of 3, that's your out right there. Boom. Because it's already happened a few times, before he's had this nice stretch the last 3-4 games where, he hasn't played the whole fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's your avenue where you decrease Fournier's minutes, you take all of Obi's, and that's the 28, 30 minutes for Cam.
Let's get to the phones. We definitely got to get to the phones. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out my guy Jason Cal Cannon drops a $100 super chat in here. Said just want to thank y'all for creating great content, supporting this community, and the Sunday show is for the real ones. That's a fact. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're having constructive dialogue here on the Sunday night. 1,800 people here in the chat. Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. All right, let's start on the Discord. My guy E Crossover, go ahead and unmute your mic, man. Jump in here, rapid fire. Give us your rotation comments, rapid fire. I want to get to as much people as I can.
Yeah, you guys hear me now?
Loud and clear. Let's go.
Oh man, all right, you guys said a lot, man. All right, I remember I was talking to you last night after the show, so I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep it real, man. I'm going with JD on this one, man. You gotta get rid of either Rose or Burks. To me, I think you keep Rose because of how he orchestrates the bench offense. He keeps everything, like Stratocaster said, nice and calm, steady. I'll get rid of Burks. I would go all in for Jalen Brunson. You need that guard spot. You need a guy like Jalen Brunson to really help you run this offense. I'm telling you, Jalen Brunson with this is my life. If you get Jalen Brunson, you get Burks because the Mavs are still in 5th place. They need a guy off the bench, a spark plug. Burks is perfect for that. And if you get Jalen Brunson, I will start Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett at the 2. I know people not going to like it, but Cam at the 3, Randall, and then Mitch. Mitch, to me, I would pay him 50 to 60, maybe 50, maybe 55 mil in the offseason because he can be a Rudy Gobert. He can be a Rudy Gobert for this team. But what you need is the dynamic perimeter offense in order for that to work. And they have RJ excelling. Cam wants to really play. And I think he's going to play hard for this team because he's trying to prove something. And you can't, manage minutes like an Obi, like 15. No, he's gonna want 25 plus. So you start him. He's a defensive wing. You have more defense. Jalen Brunson's 6'1". He hustles. You can get that in the perimeter, and you can make that up with long dudes like RJ at the 2, which is 6'6", and you got a long dude like Cam Reddish, which can get his own buckets, and he won't need to be the guy that is going to get you 25, 24. He can spot up. He can hit the 3. He did it with Trae Young in the playoffs, so it's not like we can't deny that. But if you're not going to get Jalen Brunson, I'll start Fournier at the point guard because it's politics. You're going to need to start him.
Wait, you start who?
Put him on the
Start
bench.
who at the point?
Fournier with RJ and Cam. Because the main playmakers are who?
Wait,
going to be RJ
wait. You're starting Fournier at the point guard?
Because you don't have Rose. You don't have Rose right now. And having Burks at the 1, it doesn't work out with Burks at the 1. He is a bench player. You need to put him on the bench. I don't like him at the 3. He hasn't been as consistent as everybody thinks. He's had his games, but when he's bad, he's like John Starks bad, like 1 for 9. He's all over the place. He's trying to drive in, trying to go crazy. And they've started Fournier at the 1, and they won games with that. But I'm not saying Fournier's going to run the offense. I'm saying he's going to be that off guard playing the 1. He's long, and he's not going to play better defense. I'm just saying.
All right, no doubt. Appreciate the call. Nate from Rochester. Nate, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Y'all got me?
Yep, loud and clear. Let's go.
All right. If I go too long, just bang on me. All right.
Yeah.
Pause.
Well, this is rapid fire, and yes, pause. You're trending. You're trending badly right now. You almost picked up a flagrant 3, but yes, man. Rapid fire. Let's go.
All right. Real quick. All right. So the thing with JD, man, I'm sorry. I can't get with this trying to play the young players thing. Just to play the young guys, all right? Tibbs is in the business of winning games. And I don't think going to play the young guys just to lose games, be the Thunder, be the Magic, whatever, is a good thing. Obi doesn't help us win games. McBride doesn't help us win games. You know who does? Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes. Those young guys play. The other young guys don't play because they don't help us win. It's that simple. So going forward,
play if Rose is back.
I'm sorry. Say that again, JD.
I said Grimes is not playing if Rose gets back. He's not playing.
Grimes is playing. He's 100% playing.
Okay, so how does he play?
Yeah, give us your 9. Give us
Give
your
me a
9,
rotation.
Nate. Give us your 9.
Right now, so Kemba, I'm getting Kemba all the way out of here. Kemba,
Okay,
he's not
okay.
coming back.
All right.
No disrespect to him. He's been great.
Okay.
That player of the week thing was the worst thing that ever happened to us, honestly. I'm keeping the current starting 5 right now. All right? I'm keeping Derrick Rose in. I'm keeping Quickly. I'm having Cam play the 4 where Obi normally plays. I'm having Grimes play the 3. And then Taj or Noel at the 5. Doesn't really matter. They're both not that good. But it's like, I just don't get why we want to play Obi so much. We didn't play Frank at all. Nobody cared because he wasn't that good.
You got an 8th pick. You got an 8th
I don't
pick
care.
for Obi, man.
All right, I'm sorry.
You got an 8th pick for him.
Kevin Knox was our 8th pick. Scott Perry drafted that guy. If he doesn't help us win, who cares? The other young guys are developing. Are we gonna have like 7 young guys? What are we doing? We have our young guys. We know who helps us. If Obi doesn't help us, get an asset for him. It's that simple.
I hate that, man, because Nate,
How
you know what
many-
you're telling us now, Nate? That's 3 straight draft picks that you whiffed on, man. Not 3 straight,
got
because RJ
RJ.
was in there. That RJ was in there, but I don't
Now you
like
see
that.
his rotation. How many minutes is Grimes playing in that rotation? He's not playing minutes.
He would play the
Situation.
same amounts right now, wouldn't he? Because I haven't thought of it super deeply, but Grimes helps us win games at the end of the day. That's why I'm
agree.
cool with Grimes playing, because he's a young guy that helps us win games. But like when I hear people want to say, "Oh, let's get Obi in there," we saw Obi play 45 minutes against the Raptors, and he only got his 19 points. That's not a good stat line to me. Obi's just like, he's too dependent on other players for us to be going out of our way to develop him. If it comes at the cost of the team, I think something that goes underrated with this is the team develops. Like, there's team development, and there's player development.
Right.
If I had to prioritize Obi and hurt everybody else because Obi's like feelings are getting hurt and he's not getting enough touches, it's like, why would I do that? I have other young guys that do the same thing. Mr. Robinson, he was getting a lot of flack earlier this season because he wasn't helping us.
Okay.
And you know what he did? He stuck with it. He kept getting boards. He kept getting dunks. He got healthier, and he plays now. He does what Obi does, but he also plays defense. So it's like, and this isn't to be like disrespect Obi or nothing. Obi can help a team.
Yeah,
but he just
last
doesn't
point,
fit with
last
what we
point.
got. He just doesn't fit with what we got. We have young guys that play. Keep on playing them. It's that simple. If they don't help us, what are we doing? That just means they're not that good. That's it. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right, man. But appreciate the call,
Yeah,
Nate.
my bad.
No,
mean,
you're all
right.
good, man. You're all good. Go ahead, bro. Who was just in the chat said I said don't trade a play because of optics. I didn't say don't trade a play because of optics. I didn't say that at all. I definitely didn't say not trade Obi because of optics. I didn't say that. But what I did, what I did say is that, you know, you whiffed on Knox, you whiffed on Frank. I think unless you have a good deal lined up to get Obi out of here, I've said the Obi pick was a waste. But I'd like to see him here playing until you make that trade. Figure it out. He's not Kevin Knox. He ain't Frank. I like to think he's better than those two guys.
You don't want it to be that.
You don't
because if
want it to
if
be
you don't
that.
play him, it can get to that point.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
He has some points. I do agree with the fact that, you know, but I think he may have. We were on similar lengths, but then he's talking about Obi. I didn't say anything about Obi. What I'm saying is, even under his rotation that he presented, Grimes is situational.
Right.
Even with him being the back, because as soon as Tibbs decides to go with a small backcourt off the bench with the Rose and IQ, now you're taking Grimes off his natural position. He can only now play where he's a 3. And with Cam here, with RJ here, with Fournier here, where is that path for him to get the minutes that he's getting now? Now, if you guys are fine with him getting 3 minutes and him coming off at the end of the game and at the end of the quarters to defend the guy, then that's on, you know, then that's what you guys want. I don't want that. I want him to continue to get the 19, 20 minutes that he's been getting his last 5 games. That's what I want because it's contributing to winning. The team is winning now. So the way that I would do it is I would keep the same starting lineup that you have now, right? I mean, in a perfect world, I would get Fournier out of there and start Grimes. But whatever, you should keep the same starting five, and then you have Cam, you have Grimes. If you're not gonna move Obi, then that gives an Obi opportunity, and but I'm getting these guards out of here. I'm getting them out of here, man. Because I'm thinking about Grimes. Grimes to me is the most important piece right now to the rotation in terms of, having him play the minutes that he's getting now, even with Cam here. And that's my concern, is that when Rose comes back, whatever happens with Kemba, Grimes may be the odd man out, and that's what I'm trying to prevent. So when you guys see me talk about the Rose angle, it is strictly on Quentin Grimes. It's not about Rose. It has nothing to do with, I get it. Rose can close and all that stuff, but it's only going to be here for what? For another year, maybe? Like, where's that going to get us? And next year, he's another year older. And he may get hurt again.
Well, I think absolutely by the next year, you got to start consolidating this. Between Burks and Rose, one of these guys got to go.
Telling you guys, I mean, he can't play. Whenever Rose gets 30 minutes, the next day you see him on the court. He's playing, but you see he doesn't have the same explosion.
He's doing like his little mantis, like yoga stretches and whatnot to try to get right.
Come on, man.
Don't tell that to the Rose Hive. He's an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell that to the Rose Hive. You know what I'm saying? My man goes home in a body bag just to get ready for the next game. But I digress. All right, back to rapid fire we go. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. We're having constructive dialogue. This is Knicks Talk, Knicks Weekly, #1 show for the fans by the fans. CP the franchise, Alex Tatar, Shady Sports Talk here. If you guys are new in the chat, type in hashtag new in the chat, and we'll shout you guys out. Okay, rapid fire. Back to the Discord we go. Michael, let's go. Rapid fire.
Let's
Michael.
go, man. Look, rapid fire it is, bro. Listen.
Yeah.
I don't want Jalen Brunson because, look, this season is going to be a setup for the future. Derrick Rose might play, but in the offseason, Derrick Rose should be traded. I'm not saying he should be traded this season, but in the offseason, you're not going to keep him next year because you got to develop Grimes, McBride, and you got to see if Evan Fournier is going to still be on his team because I think in the offseason you're going to trade him, especially if Cam does good, Fournier and Burks is out of here.
Yeah.
And that might come with Rose Noel. So it's going to be Rose Noel, Fournier Burks in the first-round pick for a trade for an asset. And that's going to be an asset for a backup center. Now, if Miles Turner is still available, they're going to try to go for him with that exact trade lineup. Because to me, if the Pacers want Gordon Hayward for Miles Turner, I think maybe they'll get Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose for Miles Turner if they want Gordon Hayward. But that's besides the point. Jalen Brunson, we have Miles McBride, we have Quickly. We have Rose now. Why we need these rental point guards who are gonna do good for one season and then be inconsistent? Brunson's not for New York. He needs to be on the bench, 6-man playing 15 minutes, 20 minutes. He's not gonna do that here. He plays in the starting lineup for Burks. Then you're gonna mess up what Cam wants. You're gonna mess up development of Cam, mess up development of Quickly. No for Brunson. No other point guard because we have a point guard in McBride. McBride doesn't work. Then you do that. We're not even trying McBride out, and we're trying to trade these guys.
Okay.
Listen, if Obi doesn't get traded by next year, that means he's probably gonna get traded. Look, I have a weird feeling about this, but next year is gonna decide if Randall and Obi are staying. Because if next year they both don't play good, they're gonna get packed up together. And Zion, look, but I have a feeling Zion went to rehab a week ago, right before RJ started do his magical thing. RJ Day, RJ Week. Everyone got Manscaped. RJ got 5 free Manscapes, man. He's on the Super Saiyan. Look.
It's facts.
When I saw Zion check in, I saw on YouTube. He checked in the rehab with not to plug his team. Just by himself and his own people in Portland.
Okay.
And then right before the Mavs game, we saw the Cam Reddish reports because we already knew they were trading him, but we saw Cam Reddish actual report, confirmed.
All right.
After the Mavs game, Cam Reddish is on. We get Cam Reddish. So what that tells me is that next year, if Obi's not traded still and Randall plays bad, they're gonna go shot for Zion if he plays even a game this season.
All right. Appreciate the call, Michael. Fredo, you up next, man. Fredo, let's go.
I'm gonna try to keep this quick.
Yep.
JD's right, man. We got to waive Kemba, and we got to trade Rose. I think all of us knew going into the season. This is not. I'm not saying anything that's shocking here. That this Knicks team is not a championship team. So, like, what are we holding on to Rose for? Just to play well in the playoffs? I mean, I get it. I want to play well in the playoffs too. I don't want to just give up on the team, but holding on to Rose kind of almost seems like it's hurting us. The one thing I do kind of disagree with JD a little bit, I would trade Rose and waive Kemba for the fact that I want to see IQ play that point guard role a lot more and coming off the bench. I don't really see the need of having Rose when in 2 years he's going to be off this team anyway. Obviously, it would free up more minutes for Grimes as well, and Cam could play the three. It just kind of makes sense at this point. And this is all assuming that we're not going to do a trade. If we're going to do a trade, which I think we will, this is all for nothing.
Yeah.
But Rose got to get packed up, man. JD's right.
Okay.
Later, guys.
Appreciate that. Fredo, rapid fire. Fredo really abiding by the rapid fire rules. Okay, to the phones we go. Area code 770, you up next. I got no moderators. Keep it clean.
Yo, this is Rob Mel from Georgia, by way of Queens, New York.
Salute.
Love the show. What I wanted to say to y'all, once I learned tonight from you all that Cam Reddish is a clutch product, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but Ben Simmons is coming. And you're looking at a Fournier, Burks, Kimber, and 3 picks for Ben Simmons. And that'll round out your point guard. New York desperately needs a point guard. And one thing about clutch sports, they don't bring their players alone. They come in droves and look for a Ben Simmons trade. I see it coming.
Rob
and
Mel,
it would be
dropping
right up
facts.
Tibbs' alley.
Okay. Hey, that interesting. We had not put that out there. Ramel's throwing a blockbuster in the mix. Let's go.
Maybe they're turning on Noel.
Yeah, right.
All that lawsuit money we spent on you, and you can't even play for us. What's going on?
Yeah. All right. So Ramel's throwing something in there. We didn't think about that. He's throwing a big blockbuster in the mix. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons.
At some point, that position has to be addressed.
Interesting. Ben Simmons. Can Ben Simmons and RJ coexist? That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting pairing.
I mean, when RJ has an off night, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna have bricks,
right?
and no shots.
They'll build a nice construction company together, but I'm not sure if that'd be your backcourt tandem that you're looking for. But still interesting.
And what about this notion that if we trade Rose, that means we don't want to win? What? Like, we're winning now.
Yeah, right.
and we have to make some pay. Like, listen, it's not gonna happen though. So
yeah,
disclaimer. I understand Rose is not getting traded this year. It's just something that I would do. But that doesn't mean that I'm shifting towards playing the kids. I haven't even mentioned Deuce McBride. I'm just talking about Quentin Grimes. And I would like to keep Burks. I would like to keep what's working. But what I am saying is when these guys come back, I am telling you, Quickly's minutes may decrease a little bit, because the thing with Rose and Tibbs is Tibbs has an even shorter leash on the young guys when he has all his vets.
Yeah.
And right now, he's giving IQ a much longer leash. He's giving him a lot of opportunity. He's giving a lot, Grimes is getting the 19, 20 minutes. These things are going to change once Tibbs is in his little comfort zone where he has Kemba, he has Rose, he has Burks, he has Fournier, he has all his vets. I'm telling you, these young guys are not going to be able to make one mistake. And you're going to see some quickly, 13-minute games. You're going to see, Grimes coming in for like 2 minutes. And I don't want to hear it when that happens. JD, you were right. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm just saying.
Shout out
just to win 2 more playoff games.
Shout out to Team #News. Newcomb Braun, Chad James, what's good? We got Will Keeb in here. We got David Tolman. Let's go. Flyboy in here. Team #News. Shout out to Flyboy. And yeah, man, salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you're coming out with us to the Knicks Timberwolves game, man, we'll be out there on Tuesday, and but not before the Knicks matinee MLK game tomorrow, man. Knicks versus the Charlotte Hornets. We got LaMelo, Miles Bridges, and the gang coming in. You know, Charlotte riding high. They did lose a tough one against the Magic, a letdown game against the Magic yesterday. But Charlotte had some impressive wins themselves this past week, man. 2 over the Bucks, 1 over the Sixers. So not a game the Knicks can take lightly, man. Knicks have to come out with energy early because the Charlotte team is going to be looking to rebound after an embarrassing loss against the Magic last night. So definitely have to be on their A game. Okay, 2 more calls and then we'll wrap. Let's go to area code 917 on the switchboard. 917, let's go.
On?
Yeah, you on live and direct. Who's this?
This is Todd from Brooklyn.
Todd, what's up? What's good?
First of all, I want to say a shout out to all you guys. I love the show, but I want to say this one thing, and I want y'all to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that we're not going to the promised land, so we got to just pump our brakes. I think we still need to develop. When we talking trades, I think the Ben Simmons thing has validity to it, but I would just like to ride out what we have this season and then basically see what we need to do in the off season or just maybe before the trade line. But I believe in Leon, and I think he's going to do the right thing. And once again, shout out to y'all.
Salute.
And great show.
Thanks, man. That you know, that was so rapid fire. We got to take another call. Let's go to area code 305. I like that guy. He came in and he observed the protocol, rapid fire, in and out of there. You know, he didn't give us his history as a Knicks fan and where he's blah, blah, blah. You know, all that is good, but sometimes you got to save that for another show. Area code 305, what's going on?
Yo, what's good, fellas? What's going on? This is CeeLo from Miami.
CeeLo, what's good, my guy? How you doing?
What's good? What's good? Yo, JD, I love you, dog, but you're still high off that Hawks pack from yesterday, bro. I gotta disagree.
Go in on him. Let's go.
Yo, D Rose is a borderline 6th man of the year when the guy is healthy, man. You can't trade him. Besides that, man, I'm not gonna worry about him because his roster spot's open for the rest of the year. He's not even come back. Maybe he'll come back for the playoffs if we make him, man. But I'm not worried about that. The one guy we gotta move him. Come hella high water is Evan Fournier. I've been yelling at the top of my lungs. All caps in the chat.
Absolutely.
Evan Fournier's got to go. If we got to attach assets to it, I don't care, man. We got to move the man because I don't care. It's a good thing he's playing well right now. His value's a little higher, but no matter what, we got to move the man. That's all I got, man. Have a good night.
I should have
messed up
banged it on
CP's
him.
night.
I should have banged it on him early with the 48 slander, man. I really should. You know what I'm saying? I let him live because he went at JD, but then I should have banged it on him early with the 48 slander, man. Come on, man. 9 points in the fourth quarter of the Hawks game when we were
he played well.
Get up out of there.
Played well.
There's no
well.
need for me to
There's
talk
also
about
reality
Fournier. Everybody knows my stance on Fournier, so there's no need for me to debate or argue that. I'm packing him up. So.
All right, we're gonna get to King D's, but before that, I gotta salute a super chat because we got a $100 super chat from KF101 who says Rose, RJ, Evan, Julius, Mitch, Quickly, Grimes, Cam, Obi, Taj. That's his rotation. He says I say Rose because the ball moves better when he's in. So for now, we hold and we have to develop McBride. So he's going Rose, RJ, Evan, Julius, Mitch, Quickly, Grimes, Cam, Obi, Taj. Where's Burks? KF101. Where's Burks? And you know who KF101 is? Shout out my guy Q-Tip. #1 fan of the show. One of the #1 fans of the show, man.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Q-Tip. Nice. Everybody in the chat, throw a ATCQ in the chat to salute a legend among us watching and repping. Well, Q-Tip, man, where's Burks? Where's Burks in your rotation, man? Where's Burks in the rotation? What is? I don't know. Maybe Burks gets traded, man. I don't know because Tibbs likes Burks, man.
I can't see him getting traded, man. I really can't see Burks getting traded. What if they made a big move? What if they made a move for De'Aaron Fox? How would you feel about that?
Depends on the draft picks and the young players they gave up. I always like Fox, but he can't shoot, man.
That's the one thing Jalen Brunson may be the move.
I mean, Jalen Brunson. That's why people like it because he can shoot the three.
You know, it's hard to sell me on Fox for the amount of money, a losing point guard who can't shoot, and he's making over $30 million a year. You know, I don't know. I always like Fox. Man. I always did like Fox. It's just tough.
To me, the solution would easily be Fournier, but I just don't see it realistically happen.
Yeah.
So it's either I think you waive Kemba, and then it has to be one more move. You waive Kemba, and then you decide between Fournier and Burks. I would prefer Fournier, but because of politics, because of contracts, because in order to get rid of Fournier, you're going to have to probably attach an asset or be part of a much bigger trade, which probably is going to involve a young player or two. Like, that's the problem with Fournier is it involves too many other dynamics to get rid of him, where you could just easily, get rid of Burks and actually get some draft capital, get something in return, and that opens up some spot. But to me, clearly waive Kemba. And like I said, I mentioned the Rose thing, but it's not going to happen. So that's why I'm not even mentioning Rose in this conversation. Then it's either Fournier or Burks.
Absolutely, man. All right, we're going to close the show up. Great show. Definitely appreciate all the callers. King D's closing the show again. Back-to-back nights. King D's, man. How you feeling, man?
I love it. I love it. Yo, run it up. Let me make this quick, real quick, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got to talk about the politics. All right, listen. I'm going to keep it real simple, man. If you got to sacrifice Obi and Burks to play Grimes, Cam, and get your point guard, whoever that might be, whether it's Brunson, Fox, or whoever it might be. And JD, you're right. I'm waving Kemba. Definitely. Definitely. You're right on that. You're not right on Rose. You're tripping. But if I got to sacrifice.
Wait. So if I told you that Rose is the key to Grimes minutes, would you change your stance? Like, if you knew for sure that if Rose comes back, Grimes is done, would that change your stance, or would you just keep Grimes on the bench and play him next year?
I got to keep Grimes off that bench. But what if I told you Burks was the key to that? It's not Rose. What if Burks was the key to Grimes and Cam playing? Like, you could still play. You like my I know Tibbs would never do it, but he needs to. No teams in the NBA play two bigs at the 4 or 5 off the bench. That's a fact. It's always a wing. Either he's 6'8", 6'9". In my dreams, I have Obi playing the 5, Cam playing the 4, Burks playing the 3, Rose playing the 2, IQ playing the 1. But Tibbs would never do that. So I gotta factor in Tibbs. And when I factor in Tibbs against Leon Rose, because Leon Rose clearly shows he's going for the future. He gave up a first round pick for a 21-year-old. He's going for the future. He's not on Tibbs' side. So if I'm going by real life scenario, then I'm sacrificing Obi and Burks to get a point guard, to get Grimes to play, to get Cam to play. And listen, we just sacrificed 19. We got 19, 21, and we traded down and got Cam, Grimes, McBride. So it's the same type of thinking. If I gotta sacrifice a vet who, no disrespect to CP, Burks is Burks, fourth quarter closer. But if I can swap that for a point guard, for Cam, and for Grimes, I'm doing that, bro. I'm giving you that. I think the starting four is solidified. Evan, RJ, Randall, Mitch, and then you add the point guard. But as far as that bench, what I'm wishing versus what Tibbs wants, is it real? What I'm wishing is Obi at the 5, Cam at the 4, Grimes at the 3, Rose at the 2, IQ at the 1. Leon, he got to do it, man. Obi's on that boarding pass. Noel's on that boarding pass. Kemba's waived. Burks is on that boarding pass. I'm out. Peace and love.
Peace, bro. Appreciate it. The only thing I'll say, Al, in closing this is this. Like I said, Grimes is here for 4 years, bro. And yes, we have a front office. They're drafting, pretty well so far. They bringing in Cam. They have an eye towards the future. You have a coach that's trying to win games right now. Yes, Grimes contributes to that, but I don't see them just moving these vets for the sake of bringing these young guys up a notch. I think their time will come. I think there will be a time when these vets, whether it's Burks, Rose, Fournier, Noel, I think there will be a time when these guys do get moved. I don't think they will be expedited out of here. That was my whole point. I don't think they will be expedited out of here to make room for Grimes, and maybe not even for Cam in this half a season. Let's see how it goes at the deadline. But I'm not so sure.
I think you got to. Well, I hear what you're saying, where no one's getting expedited out of here. I understand where you're saying Grimes will probably be the one to take the hit because he is here for 4 years, and you got a year and a half for Cam to see what you got in this kid. And you have to make that judgment quick because you're going to have to pay him.
That's the real thing. Year and a half. 2023, you got to pay him.
Yeah, but you still have to see what he's going to give you on the court to see if he's going to translate to winning. And he hasn't, like we saw what he did in the playoffs last season. That's why I could see taking a gamble on this kid. I get that. If I'm the Knicks, though, I'm trying to like get all, like, the point is, where are we going this season overall? Like, we're not winning a chip. We're going to stay competitive. We see that we could still stay competitive. I think you could still move one of these vets, get some assets, and still create some minutes for these kids to get some playing time. That's just my stance on it. Whether it be Evan Fournier, I don't see Burks being the one being moved. I get the stance on Evan Fournier that you just signed him and all that stuff. But if there's a deal that comes along a way where if he's playing well and that nets you like a late first rounder that you can use in a future trade, I could see that too.
Listen,
JD, last takes.
Yeah, like you mentioned, CP. One thing, is that you say you don't see it, but my question is Grimes actually a player that can help you win now? Like, forget the fact that he's a rookie. Forget the fact that he has, 4 more years. Now, can he? I mean, he's doing it right now, and I don't know what player you're getting on this bench that can do what he did to a Trae Young, who's actually, even though Grimes is a good defender, that's somewhat of a mismatch because Grimes is not the quickest. So I don't know where you're getting that type of, immediate contribution. That was a key point of the game. We don't have Grimes at that moment. Trae Young is cooking anybody in front of him. So to me, I just think that what he brings to the table in 18 to 20 minutes is more valuable than what people are like. People are just putting it into this kids thing. It's not about the kids. It's about this. Yeah, he's a rookie, but he's actually helping you win now. So why does that need to change over a veteran? Like, to me, it's just about I'm not looking at a veteran rookie, 3 years of service, who has a bigger contract. I'm not putting that into perspective. I'm looking at it player for player. Tip said it, who gives you the best chance to win? And to me, Grimes right now is a key ingredient to helping you to put you in a position to win games. And that's all I'm trying to say.
It's tricky, man. It's tricky.
You love it too. I got destroyed.
Oh yeah, the Rose hype. Yeah,
I mean, the
somebody
Rose
else
love
came
is
in
real.
here late. Said like, yeah, man. I know you're not calling Rose a bum. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing. People hear what they want to hear, man. So now they take your words and they twist it all over the place. Yeah, shout out to Thomas Cornish, man. Welcome to the family. Just subscribed. Everybody hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Go ahead, Al.
No, I mean, like, one, everyone's going to hear what they want to hear, as he said. That's all I'm saying. Facts. I mean, also, it just hurts me because I got a Rose jersey back there, and I need to see that man play. All right.
I get it.
Great show. Q-Tip sends another super chat. He says Tibbs may be the one to get expedited. And hey, could very well be true, man. We got time. Trade deadline coming up next month. And
an exciting week.
Yeah, big week, man. We got to do the trade deadline show as well. So the three of us will be here doing that. We'll try to get some guests on as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. Great show, man. Knicks Weekly, and we got 1,800 strong in the building, man. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell, share these videos, man. That's the way that you support us for free. And we appreciate all the monetary donations. All those go back into building the channel up. We invest in the channel, whether it's, the technology, the personnel, the talent, everything. So your contributions are always appreciated. And right back at it tomorrow, man. Matinee kickoff, MLK, LaMelo versus Burks. Mano y mano at MSG. Knicks and the Hornets. Let's go.
That's the promo.
Yeah.
that's LaMelo versus Burks.
That's my promo. Can number 18 slow down the red hot LaMelo ball? We will see. Let's go. Let me shout out some of the super chats. Shout out to the Abstract once again, man. Q-Tip in the building. The Fishers says D-Rose, RJ, Cam, Julius, Mitch, Evan, IQ, Burks, Obi, Noel. He says Rez, Grimes, McBride, Sims, reserves, Grimes, McBride, Sims, clear the log jams. Cam gives more athleticism than Evan. We will see it early. The R says Burks is gone. Believe it. NY Sports Guy says if Knicks are smart, they would move Fournier, slide RJ to the 2, start Reddish. Reddish and RJ could become the next Tatum and Brown pairing. See, I think that's a future move. I think that is a future move, but I don't think they'll do it right this second. You still have to evaluate Cam, and he's got to earn that. He's got to earn that. So let's see how it goes. Eddie SFL says our bench has been trash even during these wins. Rose is our bench, and imagine how much better we will be with Rose off the bench. Ed Feingold says we are Mitch injury away from having no center. What's the play? If all we have are Sims and Taj, aren't we in trouble? Well, how many centers do you need, man? Between Noel, Sims, and Taj, you got to be able to hold it down in a 48-minute game. It will be all right. You don't need Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out there. You just need somebody to rebound and rim protect. I think all three guys can do that if they're healthy. And Taj's not much on the rim protection, but still solid on the boards and a solid veteran. Blood of the Panda says time to ship out Burks. He maximizes value, lowest potential. Burks no longer fits our timeline, makes the most sense. Wish him well. Hashtag Obi Avengers. Hashtag free Obi. Paul Robinson says, I think the issue is that with Cam, we aren't really weak anywhere but the one now. But our record makes us think a move has to be made. We're hot. Better we make no moves than the wrong one right now. All right. Paul Robinson also says JD has lost his mind. All right. Thanks for super chat, Paul. Bradley 4360 says, remember this season versus the Wolves, RJ hit clutch shots and chirped at their bench and it was in street clothes. Should be a game of the week. Hashtag run it up. Yeah, we're going to be in there, man, early. Look out for that. Definitely going to have the content fired up at MSG, Knicks versus Timberwolves. CP's Manscaped Razor says, love the trade. Fits perfect for the kids' timeline. And yeah, man, great show. Appreciate it. Remember that these shows. Oh, go ahead, JD.
I was gonna say, let's not leave without those record predictions.
Oh yeah. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Okay. So this week,
4 games.
4 games. So who are the games? We got Charlotte
at home, Minnesota at home.
Yeah.
Pelicans at home, and the Clippers at home. This is the last homestand before that crazy road trip.
Oh, I'm going 4-0.
Woo!
I'm going 4-0. Light work. I'm going 4-0.
Light work. Burks, right? Burks. That's why.
Burks
and Fournier
and RJ leading the way. I'm going 4-0, man. Actually, I think tomorrow's gonna be tough. Honestly, I think tomorrow's gonna be a tough one. I wouldn't be surprised at a 3-1, but I think we could take this thing 4-0. I really do. No Paul George for the Clippers. Obviously, they're still gonna be a tough team. Still a deep team. You got to respect them. I think we can go 4-0. But tomorrow's going to be tough. I think tomorrow will be the toughest one. Al, who's your loss? Which one are you predicting as an L?
It's either going to be the Hornets or it's going to be the Clippers. It's either between one of them. But
now pick one. Pick one.
You want me to choose one?
Yep.
I think it's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's the Hornets.
It's a tough matchup,
Yeah, they're on fire right now.
Yeah,
they're on fire. Even though they lost to the Magic, they're on fire.
They're on fire, man. I think they're gonna try to pick it back up after losing to the Magic last night. So Knicks can't fall asleep, man. They gotta come out hot. What are your record predictions in the chat, man? Throw us your record predictions in the chat. What do you think, G?
3-1. We might lose that Timberwolves game.
Oh, the game that we're gonna be at.
Come on,
win
man.
That, man. We're gonna be turned up in there. We can't lose that one. It's gonna be a tough one.
I mean, I think those guys are gonna be motivated to come to the Garden. I can see us winning tomorrow. I think we have some momentum. I know it's an early game, and I know that these guys just had a bad loss against the Magic, but I think the Knicks are ready here to have a very good week. I'm going 3-1. I want to get a little happy, but I'm not going your route, CP. I think that Timberwolves game may be the trouble.
Oof. All right, you heard it here first.
They smoked the Warriors tonight. So,
riding hot, man. Riding hot. All right, so we will see you guys tomorrow. Matinee edition, man. So come back here. Number 1 show for the fans by the fans. KnicksFanTV. We out of here. Great show, everybody. Peace.